I was trapped. Trapped in a body that wouldn't move, a prisoner to my own weight. Every night when I lay down, my boyfriend had to help me lift my legs. I couldn't even do that myself. I was 657 pounds. But then I made a decision. A decision that would change my life forever. Surgery, pain and loss. This isn't just about weight loss. It's about shedding everything I thought I was and starting over as someone I never thought I could be. Before we dive deeper into my journey, I want to ask you, have you ever felt stuck? Like the world is too heavy to carry? Have you ever wanted to change, but felt like it was impossible? If you've ever dreamed of a fresh start, hit that like button, subscribe, and get ready for a story of transformation, heartbreak, and unexpected triumph. I remember the nights the most. Those endless nights where I could barely move. 657 pounds. I was stuck in my own body and I could feel it every single second. Every time I lied down to rest, I felt the weight pressing down on me. Not just physically but emotionally. I couldn't even lift my legs. My boyfriend, the man I loved, had to help me. It wasn't romantic anymore. It wasn't loving. It was a necessity. I needed him not for affection but for survival. I felt like a burden. I could see it in his eyes too, the sadness, the frustration. He had been there with me through it all, but I could tell he was tired. Tired of the weight. Tired of helping me up every time I wanted to sit or lie down. My family, they didn't know what to do anymore. Every day was a struggle. My parents were nervous, constantly watching me. Always worried that I wouldn't wake up the next morning. They were afraid of what might happen to me, but they were also afraid of how much they had to do for me. My mother would tell me, "We're just worried about you, sweetie." But I could hear it, the unsaid words. I was too much for them. They loved me, but they were scared. Scared of losing me, but even more scared of me never changing. Never doing anything to fix it. I was drowning emotionally and physically. There was no way out. I felt so alone even with my family and boyfriend around. I wanted to change. I knew I had to change. But how? I didn't know where to begin. My body felt like a prison, but I couldn't escape it. My life had been reduced to a series of small movements, eating, lying down, and asking for help when I wanted to do something as simple as walk to the bathroom. This wasn't living. This was survival. I reached a point where I realized I couldn't do this anymore. If I kept going down this path, I was going to die. I saw it in my reflection every day. The weight, the exhaustion, the breathlessness. My body was telling me I couldn't go on much longer. And so I decided to take the hardest step I'd ever taken in my life. Gastric reduction surgery. I had heard the risks and believe me, I knew the consequences. But I didn't see another way out. My family, especially my parents, were terrified. I could see the fear in their eyes when I told them about the surgery. The unknown. The real dangers. I had always been their little girl, the one they protected. And now I was about to undergo something that could either save me or kill me. The pressure was unbearable. But I knew there was no way back. I had to do it. I had to try, or I would die in that bed waiting for help for the rest of my life. The surgery itself felt like a blur. I woke up and felt different, but I didn't know if it was good or bad. I looked around the sterile hospital room. The machines beeped in the background. My parents were there, sitting by my side, holding my hand. They looked relieved but heartbroken. They didn't want me to have to go through this, but they knew it was the only way. The doctor told me that if everything went well, I could lose 20 to 30 pounds in a month. It didn't sound like much, but it was hope. A light at the end of a tunnel I had been trapped in for years. I wanted to believe it. I wanted to believe that this was the beginning of something new, something better. But I also knew there were no guarantees. This could work, or it could fail miserably. Just a few days after I was discharged, everything came crashing down. I was rushed back to the hospital. The pain was unbearable. My chest felt like it was caving in. I could barely breathe. My heart was pounding in my chest. I thought I was having a heart attack. With my size, it made sense. My heart had been working overtime for years, struggling to keep up with the weight. It made sense that it would give out eventually. My whole life, my heart had been fighting a losing battle. The doctors ran a series of tests and I was terrified. But then the results came back. It wasn't my heart. It was anxiety. I couldn't believe it. Anxiety? After everything I had been through, all the weight, all the pain, it was my mind that was betraying me. It turns out that for years, I had been using food to cope with my anxiety. It was my comfort, my escape from everything that hurt. And now, with the surgery, I couldn't use food anymore. My body couldn't handle it, and I didn't know how to deal with everything that was still inside me. So it manifested physically: pain, panic, suffocating fear. That's when they brought in the psychologist. Her name was Dr. Walker, and she was kind. She didn't judge me. She didn't push me to be something I wasn't. Under her guidance, I started to open up. And what came out was more than I expected. I hadn't just been carrying the weight of my body for all these years. I had been carrying the weight of my past: years of bullying, years of being told I wasn't good enough, years of being labeled as the fat girl. The emotional scars were deeper than any physical ones. I had spent my entire life being told I was too much, and it had broken me. I didn't realize how much I had been holding in until Dr. Walker helped me unpack it. It wasn't just about my weight. It was about feeling like I was never enough. The guilt I felt for depending on my family, the fear of disappointing them, the shame of needing help to live my life. It was suffocating. And when she said those words, "You have to stop living in your past failures," something clicked inside me. I realized I had been holding myself back. I had been the one keeping myself stuck. Gradually, I started to let go. Not just of the food, but of the guilt, the shame, the fear. I started to believe I deserved a life. I started to believe I deserved to be happy. And slowly, the weight on my body began to drop. It wasn't just the surgery. It was the emotional weight that had been holding me down all these years. I wasn't just losing pounds, I was shedding everything that had been holding me back. For the first time, I could see a future. I started walking more. I started driving again. I started wearing clothes I had always dreamed of wearing. I felt lighter, not just physically but mentally. I was finally living life on my own terms. I looked at myself in the mirror and saw someone new. Someone strong. Someone worthy of love and happiness. A year later, I stepped back on the scale. It read 390 pounds. In just 1 year, I had lost 267 pounds. I couldn't believe it. I had never imagined I could do that. And yet, there it was. I was almost there. Once I hit 266 pounds, I could have skin removal surgery. It felt like everything I had worked for was coming to fruition. I was almost free. Free from my body, free from my past, free from the weight of it all. But just as I was on the brink of completing this journey, something unexpected happened. My boyfriend, the one who had been with me through everything, left. He had always liked me when I was big. But now that I was smaller, he said he didn't feel the same anymore. He didn't love me the way he used to. He couldn't accept the change. And that hurt. It hurt deeply. But it didn't break me. I had worked too hard to let someone else's opinion define me. I was finally free. Not just from my weight, but from the need for anyone else's approval. My journey wasn't just about weight loss. It was about reclaiming my life. About realizing that I didn't need anyone's validation to be happy. My worth wasn't tied to the number on the scale or the person I was with. My worth came from within. I had made it. I had changed my life. Looking back, I see everything differently. The surgery, the struggles, the heartbreak. It all led me here. I may have lost 267 pounds, but what I gained was so much more. I found my strength. I found my worth. I found myself. And now, I know nothing can hold me back. If my story resonated with you, if you've ever felt like your past was holding you back, hit that like button and share your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories like this. Remember, no matter what you're going through, it's never too late to change your life.